Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show, Money Talk with SmartRobie. I'm your host, Martin Wong. Now, I'd like to welcome you to a great show, to a new season. As you can see, we have a different color that previously we have. So that marks the first season, which is usually I take it as 1 month. So we are into a second season and a new time. So take note, some of you who've been following me the last 1 month, we will have a new time that we will be going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, same time, 10:15. So that gives us a time to really re-examine. And I know many of you are very busy with your work. So maybe this time will give you a bit of time to do some reflection of the issues that we talk about and also the KLSE headlines that will put money in your pocket with SmartRobie. Of course, those of you who are listening for the first time, do type 1 and give me a thumbs up so I can only work harder for you guys. Now, those of you who are listening for the first time, I welcome you to our breakfast show, Money Talk with SmartRobie, and also you can download a copy of our SmartRobie from the Google Play Store and Apple Store if you not use so. And also, please share that SmartRobie with your friend and you will get 200 credit. Now, last night, Dow Jones has a bit of uptick, but closes lower. So where are we heading now? Now, of course, the story that we have for you will tell you where is the market likely to be heading. Shall we move on to our first story of the day? All right. Now, first story of the day is no other than yesterday. You all know what happened to the KLSE, right? Or the Bursa. It halted at 3:30, that's right, 3:30, and one of the reasons why is because the system, which we used to able to handle has grown substantially. Now, if you look at the stock, some of these stocks has really grown, and that's why we see huge volume really coming in, and TopGlove, Hata has really moved up. And I asked all the reader in there, and many of you have rubber glove, and some of you have texted me, say, hey, what should I do with my rubber glove? As you can see, all these are really giving the Bursa the problem. It's a good problem to have, to be frank with you, because we have now almost 9.2 billion shares are out there. Now, of course, many people know if you don't have any of these shares that we talk about in terms of dialogue, not the rubber glove, your portfolio hasn't really gone anywhere. All right. So this is the first time, according to the expert from my Sifu, Mr. Pong, who is retired and lives very nearby my place. We should catch up with him one day. It is the first time ever in volume hitting 9.3 billion over there. So that's what's causing this system to hop. I think today is already resumed, and let's check with the market this morning. Here you could see on the right hand side, the market last mark was about up 8 points. 1581. As I said before, the 1600 is that resistance. It needs to break up substantially. All right. Now let's move on to our next story that we have for you. Now, next story again is all going back to the recovery of the stock market. Now, why is that important? Because many people like you and myself, what we call the great disconnect, meaning the market is moving ahead, but the corporate earnings hasn't been coming. Now, this is a good report from the Standard Chartered, which talks about that the earnings, the corporate earnings has bottomed up and likely to rebound moving forward. We all know that, right? Even as early as last month, which many of you have been following me and I've been talking about it. That's why the market always moves ahead. Now, remember, on Wednesday, I talked about the great disconnect, and you guys should watch the CNBC talk by Andrew Ross. I hope you watch it. And he actually talks about this market, helps you to understand the market better. And when you understand the market, you have the right skill, you have the right knowledge, you will make the right decision on what kind of shares to buy and also pick the right tools. Hopefully follow the right advice from me. If what I say is true, give me a thumbs up. So I know that I really want to help you all to really manage your portfolio, as I've done so for my clients, which have benefited over this COVID-19, which I told them, no, this COVID-19, we will see recovery and that, and my job is to make them, they are in peace, so they can focus on their business or focus on their profession, and let me handle those so-called decision for them and help them to manage. Now, also in the same article, it talks about right now the current PE is around 21 times. This is fairly important because technically in Malaysia, right, for the KLSE, we usually see around 15 to 17 times, right? So right now at 21 times, we're seeing what we call a 2 standard deviation. Now, as the corporate earnings should come in on the second half of the year, this will gradually ease into the 17 times. So just take note of it, because why? When you look at the PE, now in SmartRobie, right, we will look at it. Now just remember 21 times. So anything that is higher than 21 times is considered to be pricey, except it is growth. Now we all know even revenue on Friday, we are talking about 55 times, 60 times. That is because based on a trailing PE, which means we are looking at, but if the earning comes, then it's good. So that's how you look at it. So these are like, your average price. Now, if you think in terms of property, many of you are property investor, then you would think, hey, how much is a typical per square feet? You usually use per square feet, right? When I go on and buy property, and it's the same thing. So just remember the PE times. That's my job to educate you so you know the right information, right? For glove, they're talking about 35 to 45 times. Right, which is almost double what the PE is now. Right now, also the report also highlight the really next concern if we have is the second wave of COVID-19, and that's why myself and my team, we are constantly glued to the TV. You can see right behind me what's happening in the second wave. We have seen huge cases in Florida, which is the new epicenter, just like Wuhan, just like New York. And what are they going to get out of it, or how are they going to get out of it? So that has also propelled why we've seen rubber glove, which I will talk about on the next story in here. Right, let's move on. Now the next story also talk about the FDI, which is very important because FDI creates job and is in the hand of the Malaysia Investment Development Authority. So we've always been saying, why is this important? Of course, if you don't have FDI, foreign direct investment, we're not going to get any business, and also foreign funds coming in. So having said that, we still get trickles. I mean, if you look in terms of other countries like Vietnam and Cambodia, we are outside number 5 or number 6 or number 7 now. We are not there anymore with the current bickering also in the political scene. We are not in that top list, and also many of these foreign funds coming in, they are just merely looking for cheap labor. That's why Cambodia, Vietnam seems to be their first. And one thing great about our country is this English speaking, and we are near to Singapore. So somewhere we fall between Singapore and Cambodia. Those are the reason why we picked that. If you want to say am I true or not, those of you who are in the corporate scene, give me a thumbs up in there. All right, so this is as you can see, also the same report talks about the 32% decline compared to last year. The FDI has dropped, and majority coming from Switzerland. So Switzerland can only mean two things: food or precision engineering. All right, so these are coming in there, and Singapore, of course, they're setting up a lot in Iskandar, more like moving their manufacturing base from Singapore, which is a high cost, to Johor. All right, so that's why you have SG and US 2 billion. That's all the manufacturing in Penang. I think some of you who are listening, how many of you listening are from Penang? If you're from Penang, type PG, okay? So I do know some of those in there, all right? And then China, the usual suspect, also restaurants, and Japan are in there, all right? So let's move on to our next story, which is oil and gas. And oil and gas is Yinson, one of the top performer. But having said that, it's not cheap. Let me going to show you what I mean, okay? So if you look at Yinson, let's type Yinson here, all right? And let's look at the P. Remember, I already teach you about PE, right? So you look at PE. Okay, that's not that right. Yinson, not Yinson. That's the one. Hit that one. So you look at Yinson. Let's look at the stock fundamentals. Okay. Now, if you look at stock fundamental, it's 31 times. Now, remember, oil and gas is not exciting, isn't it? Right now, it's exciting at rubber glove for technology. So 31 times, actually, technically, it's expensive. And that's when you notice the ROE is already 12 times. If you listen to me long enough, you really don't need to attend the 5-day or the 7-day course. Just use SmartRobie, and you will know how expensive and how value. And you'll be a very astute investor, like many of my colleagues, the fund managers and the analysts. You are at that same rank with SmartRobie. That's why I tell people, when you use enough SmartRobie, you are one of the best thinker, and you always ponder. You will ask the right question: what is in the background of this news? What's the background of the financial news? Right? And that's the impact you'll see. The experience you will feel by using SmartRobie is that you become more intelligent. No doubt, but you still need to make those decisions yourself. Should I buy or should I not? And should I stay out? And together with the breakfast show, I think you will come out stronger every time in here. So on this case, you can see definitely Yinson is not cheap. Okay, right now it's $6 intrinsic value. You can see there's $2, but what we're talking about is the potential going forward. Of course, we want to look at the chart wise, we just trade on the chart. Chart wise, I really like it. If you see from this chart in here, these are something we teach in our masterclass. Now, remember, those of you who are likely to come for our masterclass, which is in August 8th, do register. The registration is on the right hand side. There's a number you can contact. This is ready for setup. Now, if we talk about second half of the year, which is already here, then we talk the recovery of the crude oil prices. This is great for setup. It has a green pentagon yet. Do you think what to make this make sense? Especially some of our members who are trained to read chart, right? The only thing, if you look back, okay, on this chart setup is good. Let's see, is pay dividend. Oh, 1% dividend, not good, right? The strategy here has always been, if we pay something the decent like 3 or 4%, I don't mind waiting. It's like I'm waiting the bus stop. I'm getting paid, I get free coffee, I get free sandwiches, I wait for the bus to come. And that's the energy I'm using for Yinson. When the oil and gas move, it moves. Now let's go back to why it is attractive, positive on two aspects, which is the FPSO and RE. So a lot of time, a lot of analysts, a lot of big broker houses, they try to explain it, but I'm going to explain, my attempt to explain to you is what is FPSO. Now FPSO, like it or not, this is a picture of a FPSO. It's basically, it's a floating tanker with storage. That's all it does. They may do some what we call raw material processing, but I don't think they have that capability to do refinery in there. So what it does is stick a lot of these needles with a lot of pipes very deep in all the wells. They go into the drilling, and they have some sort of a monitoring system. So what it does is that they will fill it up and hold for storage. So right now, because of the continuing oil rig, which is ongoing, they discover more oil field out there. But like it or not, oil prices not so good lah. I mean, if you're and oil technically don't expire, isn't it? Correct? Not. You can keep them for millions of years. That's how petroleum is created, from dinosaurs, right? You all learned that from school history, right? So the same thing, they'll dig it out, put it in those storage. That's why Dialog, which I talk about it, will benefit, because oil prices so cheap, they're going to be putting oil in the storage in all the tankers. So FPSO is one of the big benefits of Yinson, and they're pretty good in this, all right? So they see a growth sector in that, and also renewable energy. We all talk about electric car. So renewable energy is actually looking at solar, all right? So the FPSO business is still profitable as long as these three criteria, that the $40 is maintained, which is, I think it's right here. And many of these contracts that they have, FPSO for Yinson, is more than 10 years, and the longest is 25 years. So it's like, if the oil prices is there, these fellas will rent. It's just like the PC business or the leasing business. Most of the big companies, I think most of you would have, you won't buy computers, you will lease them. And the same goes for this Petronas or for Shell, ExxonMobil. They will do all this drilling, and they will just sort of lease them in there. And on the side of the renewable business, it's just going to a solar park in India. That's how they buy a lot of solar panel, and they park it out right in the middle. That's another new way. I think SolarWest is looking at lakes, putting on lakes, because lakes is huge, it's flat, and it's not usable, right? So they're going to do that too. Of course, the book order that they have for oil and gas sector, okay, for Yinson, still maintaining a good earnings, EBITDA at 900 million. All right, let's go on, and we've seen the charts, we've already seen that. Let's move on to our next story in here. Our next story is no other than the very favorite S5. That's right, it's not a band, not band S5, but the boys band S5 or S7. Yeah, it's the security company of S5. Now, initially the story also covered that MYEG has a stake in it. Now Ancom is coming into it, and they're going to do a reverse takeover, basically using S5 to be listed, but using Ancom Logistics as a vehicle. That's right. Now, a little bit about background about S5. Now, S5 is a cybersecurity arms of MYEG, which they did bought it. And like MYEG is a very smart, led by very smart, I think Dato Tiam, Wong Tiam something. I can't remember the last name, okay? And he's a very smart guy. He did pretty well during the last government in there. And if the Perikatan, that's what MYEG is coming back. So they form a new company called S5. Not so much, it's a lot of this very consultants, a system solution provider, and they're looking into providing services to a lot of the MYEG projects. So a lot the customs and foreign worker. So they're going to list this, and Ancom just want to have a good take of it. And you saw the big move in Ancom. Now let's also look at MYEG for that matter, okay? And this is going to be listing when, I do not know. It's going likely to be in the ACE market in here. And let's look at MYEG. You can see MYEG looking quite healthy from a chart standpoint, building up a nice base in here. And this is really a setup when eventually S5s were to come up, right? They're going to list it, and the media again follow us. All right, you're going to push. Right now, this is a good setup in here. Of course, we can look at also Ancom, Ancom, right? And you can see the chart wise for Ancom. Okay, this is going to be, all right. Oh, look at that one. The charts in here. All right. So you can see right now the charts how it comes out. Okay, now you have this one in here. So right today you can see what has SmartRobie recommended. Okay, I think you all know that too, isn't it? Right, because this was a question posed by Jean, which always have this same problem, and the solution always given to her is please go and see a UOB Kehang dealer. There's one of our exclusive partner in there. Go and see someone who can help you. Else you can see, let me see the trending stocks. Okay, now trending stocks is no problem, right? You can get it, and the premium alert, we're going to hit it. Also no problem, right? So maybe because you're not familiar with the mobile devices. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, yeah, wait for the bus, that's right. So let's move on to our next story that we have, okay, for you guys, because I don't want to take you too long, because many of you are busy. So watch out for MYEG, right? I think MYEG will be the big beneficiary. Ancom, the chart has moved up, but if you like to, okay, like we've seen just down there, use the trading plan for Ancom. Okay, let's look at the next hot story. Yes, there's no other than TopGlove. Now remember TopGlove, we have talked about it in here. We have talked about the PE. Let's look at TopGlove and let's look at the PE too. Okay, let's look at PE. How many times PE right now is that? Let's look at the stock fundamentals here. And they are 87 times. Okay, so 87 times is pretty pricey, right? If you look at it, 21 times, but of course they are growth. But the story revolved among the couple of things that yesterday, there was big news and there was big hoo-ha also in our Telegram chat room. Do join our Telegram. But let me just try to break it down for you. Very, very simple thing. There was only a couple of issues. First issue is the stock price. That's right, because I was told that the CEO of TopGlove was showing $30, and you can see why this is possible, because this is where a lot of the analysts due to the average selling price, right, which is going Canadian, and you see right behind me the COVID-19 going up in Brazil, India, and US. So average selling price, and people want to grab hold of it. But at the same time, the US Customs and Border Protection came in and say, hey, there is some issue with your subsidiary. That they are using forced labor, and this is all the work of activists, right? Activists want to get a bit of attention, so they go over to the US Custom and Border and complain. After complain, and Donald Trump, wants some issue, and they probably say, this company TopGlove is linked to some Chinese company, and of course, knowing where we are for TopGlove, isn't it? All right, and TopGlove China, Donald Trump, show whack us one. But do take note. What we see here, the $30. Where are we now? Let's look at TopGlove now. It's $21. So again, where are we? We are in a dilemma, right? So people say, should I buy now TopGlove at 21 when the target profit it's 31? So what do we do? So of course you need to value everything. Of course, the easiest answer when you're Martin can buy or not. But that's why I always tell people, learn to read the chart. If you know how to read the chart, you can read the smart money too, right? And that's the only advice I can tell you. You don't need to learn to read the chart from us. You can learn to read from the traditional methods. That's many of them out there using something that we covered yesterday, which is for free. And I'll talk. I hope you caught that by our coach Arif, moving average. Maybe using that as an entry if you want to. If not, you can use our VSA and perhaps think about coming to our masterclass too. But more on the TopGlove in here. So because of $31 now it's 21, people is all this dilemma. Wow, still got another $10 to go. No, that's 50%. No, but we all know about analyst money. What do you think about analysts? Okay, what do you think about analysts? Now, Gene, I've sent you something about the green pentagon. I sent you a video tutorial. Please go and watch it. I think you need to follow my advice. Everything I sent to you, go ahead. This lady here, I really want to help her. But every time I send her something, she never read or she never go and watch the tutorial, and she keep always asking the same thing. Okay, please try to go through those videos. We're able to help you. What I always want to do in my show is to help out every person as I can, from students to auntie to housewife to engineers to part-time. I felt that that's part of my calling to help you guys out. But at least you could do on your side is when I send you some advice, some tutorial, go and watch it. Right, and don't come back to me and say I haven't watched it yet and so forth. I do know some people don't even know how to use YouTube. That's right. Right, so if they don't know how to watch YouTube or don't know how to use YouTube, so how, you tell me how to help you? Correct, everything now all digitized, right? But let's go back to the story here. Now, the story here is the two issues on worker exploitation, which I talk about here, because on the news that I cover is the passport being withheld. You all know foreign workers always hold the passport, else they also all run away, isn't it? So this activist is a trademark activist. They want to go through the big corporate. You see, these people all are very crude one. They hold their passport. Issue also number two related to the foreign labor is the commission payout, because a lot of foreign workers come from India, not India lah, you all know lah, Bangladesh lah, Nepal, right? So they withhold, they actually pay high commission to the brokers over there, and when they come over, right, the wages for the worker has been withheld and haven't paid yet. By the end of the day, Tan Sri Lim Chi why? Okay, I hope I got the name right. TopGlove MD, right? The Tan Sri lah, just call it Tan Sri Lim lah, easier. Huh? So he's going to sort it out within 1 month with the US border and custom and border. Because like it or not, the American only hear it from one side, which is the activist. You must also hear it from the corporate side, which is fairly important too. So we as investors, we also always hear two sides of the picture. Media will always play to one side, like, oh, activists, all this, but we must also hear what does Tan Sri has to say. And Tan Sri say he'll fix it in one month. I think he will do it in 1 month. What do you think? Can Tan Sri fix it in 1 month or not? So during this 1 month, look at the chart. Does it give you a good level to buy? Because what has happened is that a lot of those containers, all the rubber glove, they kept it in US shorelines, just waiting for the decision, boleh jalan or tak boleh jalan. And the backup plan is tak boleh jalan, they will ship it over to a little bit cost more. The average price will drop down a bit because of the selling price, but it will ship it to India, South America, you know, where Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina are so bad, right? They will ship it there. Provided the average selling price is there, 30 to 50% premium, they'll still make the money. And whether you hit $31, I don't know. We'll check back in 1 month from now. Do you like my story or not? So at least I give you an update on TopGlove. All right, so let's move on onto the other side of the story. Yes, no other than Premium Alert. That's right. Now, Premium Alert was one of the great things. And today we picked THS. Okay, we're going to pick one more here. Okay, let's go to Premium Alert. And guess what? Whoa, Caely move. Bonus! Yes, I was so happy for you. How many of you bought Versatile? If you ever bought, I know some people say, I bought Caely. I didn't buy Versatile, Martin. So why? What to do? Right? Some people bought Versatile, didn't buy Caely. Oh, I'm so happy Martin recommended make money, right? So this is a good bonus. So as I said before, what my job is to do is to give you opportunity and give you idea. The rest is on yourself to pick it up and to learn the skill. I think that's very important. We have no one to blame but ourselves. My job is to give you the catalyst and at least try to support you with the SmartRobie, with the tools and our live app to get you there. At least I don't point you to a Jalan Daiwana, you know, earlier on I tell you a rubber glove must take, isn't it? So we want to rotate. But also we already noticed some of our members in here. You guys would have noticed the plantation sectors is already moving. So use the sector analysis that we have in our Trade VSA dashboard. Some of you already are members, right? Look at that, and Zach will cover in our 9:30 at night today. So that's a lot of opportunity on the sector. I think property is still there. It's not going down. Right, I think the plantation is coming back. So take note of that one. I'll probably cover plantation next Wednesday. Okay, so to make sure you guys rotate well. You rotate out from the rubber glove, then you rotate into the plantation. Now some people can able to catch it. Some people, it's like a group of tourists. I'm like the tour guide, and some are young, some are old. But remember, there's a lot of places we want to go. We want to go to maybe the museum. We want to go to the makan place. So sometimes we have to cater for everybody. Some people, the older one, will get left out. You're so tired. You all go so many places. You rotate out from Rubber Glove, then you rotate into Plantation. I cannot follow. So how? Then buy Matrix law. Matrix concept very slow, isn't it? So the reason why I share with you is because I'm like the tour guide. Okay, let's move on from one place. We're going to a second spot and second spot, and I do it absolutely free with the hope that some of you eventually find our tools are good, sign up and recommend. That's all I have. Okay, so right now this is pretty good. Let's look at THS. I think I talked too much already. Okay, 90. You like what I like? You like what I do for you guys, right? If you like, don't give me a thumbs up. Okay, let's look at the THS on the chart wise. Okay, and looks pretty good. Okay, THS, this one is good, and you can see very similar. Okay, let me just switch on to a bigger chart for you in here, and you got a nice move today. THS is the stock pick for today. All right, and this is the chart that you can see today. Very nice. Will this be another versatile, another FP group which we pick, another Comac, another KUB? We pick a lot of great winners, to be frank with you. Right, I didn't have time to go back and monitor, but versatile looks good. You can see this is now our members. Remember, those of you who come for a master class, the next one in August, come back for the same class, 1 bar pullback. Remember, I've talked about 1 bar pullback, which is from our coach Fu. This is a 1 bar pullback. Very, very nice. All right, now if you don't know what I mean, then try to follow us more. Okay, 1 bar pullback. Now the next stock that I picked, okay, is no other than let's go back to, okay, let's go to the premium alert. Let's see some other stocks there. All right, oh yeah, versatile. Okay, yesterday Advcon. Hey, we picked Advcon also, right? Fajar 5281. When did we pick Advcon? Okay, anybody remember when I picked Advcon? So let's look at the stock price now. Oh, did I pick Advcon? Did I pick? I think I picked Advcon. I have. Sometimes I go through so many lists. That's why I'm looking at my list here. Okay. Okay, 3.8%. Okay, let's look at the chart wise. Okay, now do take note. The next slide I will have is a tutorial on all the setup and all the rules that you need to pick the stocks. Okay, so I've given those to you too. Okay, let's look at the chart here. I want to wrap it up quickly, so I'll get you guys started. Okay, very nice one, Advcon. Okay, you have the takeout of the upthrust is already green pentagon. Earlier on, you have blue zone, so that's pretty good. So Advcon is the one that I'll be picking. Even though if I pick it again, I will pick it. No, I'll pick it first time because this looked like the first time that it has moved. All right. So so we have 2 stocks. Let me write it down because Monday we're gonna come back and take a look at them. Advcon. I believe Advcon there was some news earlier on. All right, so let's go back to okay, to our next story. It's no other than this tutorial. Do watch this tutorial, and if you have any question, send it to the number that's 010-2669-761, and I'll be happy to answer some of the tutorials that we talk about in here and share our SmartRobie with your friends. Okay, don't forget the big talk that we have tomorrow. So after right now, I'll be busy going and prepare this talk for a great insight to a billionaire trader, a Japanese billionaire trader. He's no other than CIS. Some of you may want to, you can Google him, CIS trader Bloomberg. You can find a lot about him, but I'll cover him tomorrow at 2 p.m. The invitation will be sent out, okay, in the Telegram group. I think if it's full, I think some of you will say already full. We'll see what we do. Maybe we might broadcast to live FB, but make sure you get in and watch that because I can interact with you too. So I will also explain in more details, right, and going into depth about the turtle trading system and versus volume spread analysis. So that's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Okay, and if you have not joined our Telegram group, do join us for the free stock market information in there. And let's hope these 2 stocks, SH and Advcon, make money. All right, so with that, I'll see you guys more on Saturday. That's right, 2 p.m. Make a date with me. Bye bye.